This video is essentially a ride-along video. It's quite a long one, so maybe you might want to watch a little bit of it. Maybe you'll just kind of put it on in the background and listen to my dulcet cold tones. But I wanted to test this for a while. So this is my new moto vlogging setup. So I'm using my next, I think it's G100 helmet. I can't remember, I had it a while now. But I've bought a couple of things. This GoPro kind of audio mount, and then I've bought a lavalier mic, which I've kind of fitted at the back here. You can see that all kind of goes in the back, and then on the inside you can see, hopefully it's a bit dark, but there are two microphones basically in here. One of them is the microphone for my Bluetooth headset, and the other one is connected up into the back of the GoPro mount. So what I've wanted to been trying to do for a while is, I don't get much time for doing moto vlogging, and when I do, obviously one of the important things is audio quality. So I've set this up hoping for good audio quality. I've just started to watch some of the video back. I think the audio quality is really good. I need to obviously change the angle of the camera. It is pointing quite down, so I actually need to angle it back and test that a little bit more before I start off riding. And then the only other thing I noticed is, which you can see here, the knuckle joint under here is quite low, you see, compared to the base of the helmet, and it kind of rubs on the shoulder a little bit, you know, when you're doing shoulder checks to check what's going on. So I may need to have a little look to see what I can do about that. But I'll put links in the description to kind of what I'm using, basically the GoPro Media mod and the lavalier mic. So I think it's a good setup if you're trying to do something similar for your moto vlogging setup. And again, in the video, I'm just talking a little bit about my Honda CB1000R. It's not ridden it for ages. Actually, my first ride of 2022. Talk about random stuff, flying, driving tests, all sorts of random things as I ride around doing some tests to see how this goes. So it works pretty well with the visor open and the visor closed. And yeah, probably sound a little bit better if I didn't have this stinking cold, but it is winter, nearly spring, and hopefully things kind of brighten up a little bit. Also test out the new richer winter jacket I got, which is really good. I did have this jumper on originally. I took it off, just wore my t-shirt because I wanted to be a little bit too warm, and I'm glad I did. So enjoy the video, please like it if you do. Thanks so much for watching, and consider subscribing, press the bell notification icon. All sorts of videos on the channel, motorbike stuff, flying stuff, solar stuff, car stuff, gadget stuff, reviews, probably a playlist that you may like. So thanks very much for watching, and till the next one, goodbye for now.
Okay, so the first thing is, let's close the visor. This video is really my first ride out of 2021 and will serve as a few things. Ultimately, to test out this new moto vlogging setup. I'm hoping that this provides better audio. I bought the GoPro kind of special mount thing and plugged in an external lavalier mic that I've got mounted in the helmet, so I'm hoping it's pretty good. I do feel like the kind of little angled arm rubs on my shoulder a little bit, so I'll have to see how that works out. It feels a little bit annoying at the moment, past these cyclists. Also got a new jacket on, which I've called in my winter riding jacket because it is still cold around here, to a richer jacket. And again, just remind myself if I can still ride a motorbike. But it feels good. So I haven't done many videos on this bike actually. This is my Honda CB1000R Neo Cafe racer, and it's a year and a half that I've had it now. And I keep on saying I do more motorcycle vlogging videos, but I guess just been struggling with the time to do them. Between obviously work, some of the other review videos which obviously I can do in the cave, whereas these ones obviously require me to have time to get out. And the weather's been absolutely atrocious here in the UK. These roads are actually grimier than I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be a little bit better, but they're not. So I'm a little bit cautious. And my friendly Volvo driver right behind me there. Not sure if you can see him in the mirror. We'll keep trundling along. It's basically a ride along video really. See what you think. It definitely feels like it is jamming on my shoulder a bit. Whew. Never been to the Defford Arms before, but it seems busy. Some of the very experienced motorcycle vloggers have extremely amazing audio, I think, on their motorbike videos. And I'm not saying I'm going to achieve that level of audio quality, but better than the previous ones is what I'm looking for. And obviously you can be the judge of that. Leave me some feedback and comments down below on how you think it's working. Whoa, it's a little bit of side wind there. This bike is a great bike. I'm not saying it's underrated, I don't think I ever really knew quite how good it was until after I had that test ride last year on the Ducati Panigale V2. And I have to say, I still got mixed emotions about that bike. I keep on looking at them. I think I'd love to have one in the garage. Not quite sure if there's enough room or enough money or enough free time to use it. But I keep on having these kind of thoughts where I keep on thinking, well, it doesn't matter if I can't use it right now, because one day I will be able to use it. And so buy it whilst you can afford it, because one day you won't be able to, but struggle with that. First world problems. I am very fortunate to have already 2 motorcycles, great cars, great job, great people. Obviously learning to fly at the moment as well. So yeah, it's great. That's one thing I've missed about being out on the motorbike actually. Other motorcyclists, you really do feel like you're part of a community, as opposed to when you're just you know, out driving, you know, you're just another motorist. You don't feel like you're in a family, but this bike is nice. Obviously being a naked, getting a little bit of wind, but this jacket, I can't feel it. It is amazing. I did have a jumper on underneath and I thought, no, I'll take that off because I might be too hot. And I'm glad I did, because the wind proofing on this thing is amazing. And even though I'm a fair weather rider, I thought I want something a little bit more winter purposed and waterproof. So I got this richer jacket, and I think they're Alpine Stars. Obviously I was going to say matching, but similar materials and colour styling of the for the bottoms. Nice view of the Malverns there, a little bit hazy. Not really sure where I'm going. I think I'll have a ride out where little pop through well, what's it called? Upton upon Severn, and then we'll circle back round and go through Malvern, back through Worcester to Pershore. This is also, I think, yeah, this is the only time I've been back out on the bike since I did the suspension adjustment. And obviously, even though I'm definitely not giving it any kind of pushing right now, It feels nicely planted. That's another thing I love about this bike. So I'm in 6, doing 30 in the speed limit. I'm not even going to drop it down, so let's just get into the national speed limit. Just roll the throttle. This bike is just so versatile. It really is a great all-round bike. If you're commuting, it'd be great. If it was your only kind of sporty bike, it would be great as well. Like I said, this thing is so underrated. What's also underrated is me just wearing my motorcycle jeans. A little bit cold in the crotch area, but never mind. As the bike warms up into some of these slower areas. Oh, what are you doing, idiot? Oh, no way from you, miserable man. This my version of the Honda CB1000R Neo Cafe racer has the plus pack, which means it's got the heated how do I say heated wing mirrors. It hasn't got heated wing mirrors. It has got heated handlebars, which I've got off at the moment because these gloves, they're fuel gloves. They're really nice and warm anyway. But it's got the quick shifter as one of the many things. And I do use a quick shifter, but again, because I've not ridden for a while, I'm making sure I change the gears manually because I've got to keep the practicing. Still only just looking there, 835 miles on this bike, a year and a half. So I was looking at my Indian Scout Bobber, that's still just over 1,000, and that's now 2 years old. 2 years old about a week ago, I think it was. So I will do a little update video on that bike. Still love it. Both of these bikes, unless I have a requirement to downsize my storage area or anything, they're perfect for me. I don't think I'm going to get rid of them. And that's the thing with the Panigale V2. Obviously this is a naked, so you're sat more upright, whereas obviously the Panigale is a sports bike. And a few friends have said, you know, why would you get that? If you got that, would you get rid of your Honda? No. This is just a great bike, but I love them all for different reasons. Many people don't really understand why I bought this bike there, but none of my friends are really into motorcycles that much. They said they can understand why I got the Bobber because of how it sounds and how it looks and kind of the style thing. But I think the Honda CB1000R looks amazing. I think it is an amazing looking bike and it rides really well. Many people say that, you know, Honda's not very involving to ride. And again, maybe I've not got enough experience to make a proper judgment call on that, but I think sometimes you want something that's reliable and, you know, if you want to go for a ride, you know it's just going to work, not having some emotional crisis about it. Brakes are really good on this bike. I'm not sure what the sound is like for you, but obviously I've got the Akrapovic slip-on, which just makes it sound a little bit nicer. That's one thing about the Ducati actually. That's one thing that let it down, I think, the sound of it at stock. I think even the slip-on's like £1,500. It seems like a lot for just a little slip-on. Wait a little bit till we get into the national speed limit. I'll do a couple of upshifts with a quick shifter. I am riding in standard mode. We've got standard, sport and the rain, and then your custom setting. But I don't ride it in sport as much. It's a bit snatchy. It has got better as it's running a little bit, again, because this bike's still new. Got a couple of Morgans there. That looks beautiful. Look at those. Obviously Morgan's made just up the road here in Malvern, so that's still something that I keep on saying I'm going to do a factory tour, and maybe I will one day. It's not wet, but it, you know, you can just see on the road there's that little kind of glimmer of something a bit sludgy about it that you're not quite sure about. Another video that I've got coming soon is I picked up one of those Beeline navigational aids that I'm probably going to put, you know, over here somewhere, that I got in one of the New Year's sales. So a video to come about that, along with the additional mounts, so I can have one on the bobber and one on this. Right, let's just perform a nice safe U-turn where possible. Someone always wants to turn when you decide you want to do a U-turn, don't they? So one thing I do often find with this bike, and I don't do it very often, is I don't tend to quick shift from first to second. You do tend to find that you get a false neutral, or it just pops into neutral sometimes. I don't know why. But yeah, I do feel I'm getting more competent as a motorcyclist. I tried to get on the one of the Bike Safe winter riding lessons just before Christmas, but the dates conflicted with something that my wife already had booked, so I couldn't do it. But I definitely want to get on to one of those, and I still plan to do my advanced motorcycle rider training. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Dying. Yeah, advanced motorcycle rider training. I feel like I have a spider in my mouth, I think. So just do open the visor again. Very interested to see how things are with the visor open and the sound. So basically what I've done is let's say converted. Converted is a strong word for sticking a camera out on some microphones, but I basically converted my next helmet into what I'm going to call my Moto vlogging helmet. So if ever I'm trying to do a motorcycle vlog or riding some other bikes or something, it will go on here. And I've still got my Shark helmet, which I really like for in the winter. That's got the clear visor, and then what I call the fighter pilot drop down shades. And then I recently got that showy helmet, which I've not really used very much yet. Waiting for the better weather for that. Yeah, big fan of this jacket. I'll put a link down in the description for the jacket, because I'm really impressed with how warm and snuggly it is. And I got mine from the sports bike shop, which I'll put a link in the description for that as well. I think you get discount off your first order or something. Don't think I have a proper affiliation status with that. Right, we get out into a national speed limit just down this road in a minute, so we will do the quick shifting just to again give a flavour, see what happens. It's a fully unmanned petrol station there. Right, in second, currently 25. Just so effortless, it really is. Oh, yeah. This the tweaks to the suspension, I wasn't too sure when I first did it. I think I said in the video it felt a little bit stiff and might need some tweaking, but it's actually feeling pretty good on this ride. I think I have to wait till the weather's better and things warm up in general, because obviously everything's a bit cold. And my body is a bit cold too. This bike can have anything else. I think as part of the plus pack, it would have been great if the bike had had the like cruise control. I think with the heated grips and everything else, cruise control would have been a nice thing to finish this off. I guess that's another question actually, if you're still listening along on this video and watching obviously, or maybe you're not watching, perhaps you're just listening to my beautiful English tones whilst you're pottering about your house. But I bought, I think it was over Christmas, I can't remember, but definitely last year, I bought a whole book on British routes. And there's some actually quite good routes around here in the Worcestershire area, because we're very fortunate to have all these beautiful hills and everything. Let's go up to Malvern Wells, let's do that. So obviously very fortunate to have nice scenery, and yeah, I thought I could do some videos of little trips around on, you know, this bike and the bobber. I think he started his overtake on the unbroken lines there. Talking of the highway code, it's some of those new rules coming, don't they, about cyclists can now cycle two abreast and got to give right to a pedestrian and he's on the corner of the road and all that kind of stuff. I don't really watch much television, don't even have a TV here at home, so it's difficult in some ways to keep up with this stuff. My brain currently is full up with meteorology terms. That's the next exam I have for my pilot's license, and it's absolutely rammed full of 3-letter acronyms. Some of them make perfect sense, some of them don't. Like I think it's fog. Fog is one of them that even though fog is only 3 letters, they can't possibly use fog. And the one that I keep on thinking is fog is actually mist. There's a lot of things like that I have to think about. And even now, as I look at the clouds up there, I can't remember what they're called. I think cirrus clouds, those ones, they look quite high up and you could see through them. So I think even if you're flying visual flight rules, you could fly over those, because there are some holes in them and you can see down to the bottom. My understanding is that's a common misconception. I know I'm going off on a tangent now, but when you have your pilot's license, that only allows you to fly during daytime and what they call VFR, visual flight rules, and that means about always having sight of the ground. And so I think often people think that you can't fly above cloud, because obviously then you can't see the ground, but as long as there are broken bits of cloud, you can fly over them, is my understanding, because then you can still see the ground. The main thing you need to kind of watch out for is obviously that there's a suitable break in the cloud for you to get back through under the cloud when it comes to landing, or if obviously the cloud density changes or anything, you've got to kind of change what you're doing. But yeah, enough about that. With a show. Nice church there. From out the corner of my eye, it's difficult for me to tell if it looks like the camera might be slightly pointing down a little bit. I also bought, and you would have seen this if you watch my channel on my flying videos, the Insta360 camera, which I have mixed views about. So he overtakes me just at the beginning of the national speed limit, like he's going to go. Obviously I could go faster than him, we don't break the speed limit, but what a young dope needs Toyota Celica. I think with most motorbikes, I guess similar to cars now, for UK roads, anything over 650 is really a waste. I think I said in the video when I bought this bike that originally I was going to get the Honda CB1000R, but then this beauty was offered to me on interest free, and well, I had to say yes. Oh, that was a quick shift first to second there, and it actually worked smoothly, which was nice. I guess that's one thing with the obviously microphone in the helmet. I'm not really quite sure what you can pick up in terms of exhaust note. I'm also not very familiar with that's a vaccination centre there. Not very familiar with the Malvern area, so I have to kind of remind myself. I think I'll follow up round to the right up here, and then we're good. My hands actually are getting a little bit cold. The problem with heated grips, I find, I'll just turn those on, is obviously they keep the fingers and the palm nice and warm, but it's your thumbs. I remember once coming back from a ride in the terrible winter, and my thumbs, honestly I thought I was going to die. My thumbs were absolutely frozen. I can actually feel the right thumb here. It's starting to feel a bit cold. I'll just change my my grip a little bit. I can't remember if actually I changed the clock on it. It's 2:54 the current time. In usual man form, I told my wife, I'm just popping around the block. I won't be long. And as what often happens, either on my motorbike or on my Lotus, that just round the block ends up, out to Hereford, out to Ledbury, back through via Gloucester and other sorts. But one of the reasons I haven't signed up for the Institute of Advanced Motorists yet to do the advanced motorcycle riding is, again, just extra commitment that would be required from me. I think it's mainly at the weekends, obviously, because I think those guys volunteer their time. So I need to have a word with the home management before officially signing up for that. Because I try and keep the weekends more free for the family, so I fly in the week. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. But I just want to become a better motorcyclist. I feel that I'm obviously, hopefully, constantly getting better all the time. But I think with the bike safe with the police and the Institute of Advanced Motorist riding will make me better. And I guess obviously my improvements are somewhat limited because I don't ride that often, right? I mean, as you can see, this bike, as we said earlier, now on 844 miles, but I'm not out, I'm not daily commuting. And I guess where I would say I'm a reasonable motorist, that's because years ago I used to do thousands of miles commuting, whereas now, apart from the odd on-site job, I'm at home most of the time, which is good, because the only good thing about commuting was listening to podcasts, being sat on the M25 and M5 and M6 and M42 and stuff all the time. It was never that fun. So, I don't know if you can see, look at those views out over there, very nice. Malvern's a nice place, quite expensive I think. I remember we looked at some houses up here. The worst thing about Malvern is when you want to get into Worcester, you've only got the single bridge. Actually, I've not been around there so long. They were doubling it, so making it like a dual, well, I don't know if it's a dual carriageway. I think the problem was it's still all filtered into one, but could go back that way. We shall see. If the video keeps looking at the floor, it's because I'm trying to see if things are still recording. That little red light's still flashing, and it seems to be. I really should do a proper video on this bike. You'll know what I think of it, but the only thing I think I really don't like about it, actually there's two things, and they're not important things at all, and pretty much every other person that's owned or reviewed this bike says the same thing. I still don't like the fact that those front indicators are both on at the same time. I still think that looks... It's not that so much it looks odd. You see people in cars going to give you a double take because they're not quite sure what you're doing. And so that's one thing. And then the paint. The paint on this bike is super soft. I did ceramic coat it not long ago, so I'd be interested to see how it's holding up after a few more rides. But you know, down in the crotch area, things are... the paint rubs a bit. It's a nice bit of Malvern, isn't it? Got oldie worldy, got some old shops down there. Up here I think it is that there's a what do you call it? Where is it? I think it was this it can't be this, because there was a shop, and I think it was this one here, that Fawn shop. Or something. It would have been like in the family history of department stores or something for many, many generations. The guy was doing some funky dancing when he was rocking out with his... I'm assuming he had an iPod, an Apple phone, based on the white tree mic earphones, but might not have. Yeah, some nice buildings, as you can see here. Up on the right, like a castle. That's obviously apartments now. Is that Art Deco there? But no, lovely houses. I think that was a mutt. I do quite miss my mutt. If I had a triple garage, I'd probably want a quadruple one. But no, there's so many things one might like. Somewhere out here in Malvern is the many of the Malvern springs, where you can come out and collect some water from the spring. And when I was a kid, that used to be one of our weekend activities. We'd drive up from Worcester to fill loads of bottles with spring water. It's bloody freezing. There we go. The hands are warmed up nicely now. Obviously with thicker gloves on, it takes a bit more time for the hands to warm up. This car park always, every time I ride past it, brings you back to when I was 17 or whatever it was. I passed my driving test, because I ended up taking my test here in Malvern, and there was a test centre back there, and I remember pulling up in that car park, and those amazing words of I inform you that congratulations, you passed your test, or whatever it was he said. And I was really surprised, because down one of these roads off to the left somewhere, it suddenly turned into a no entry or something, and I remember having to swerve quite severely. And then also when I did my emergency stop, the car slipped on wet leaves. I still passed. It's weird. And that was my second test. My first test, I actually thought I drove really well, but I had some undue hesitancy a giveaway sign or something. That was one of the things. I can't quite remember now. Forever ago. It's weird, isn't it? Because I also wasn't that familiar with the Malvern area, because I was trying to get a retest in Worcester, but didn't have any available. This really is a proper ride along that Witteria, isn't it? Not talking about motorbikes or anything much at all. Fire station there. The scooter boys. I wanted a motorbike when I was 16 and I wasn't allowed one because parents were obviously worrying that they're too dangerous. And obviously now I'm older, I would agree. So the question is, I have motorcycles, so when my children are 16 and want a motorbike, what do I tell them? It wasn't so much that I wanted a motorbike, it was that I wanted to be more mobile than I was just on my mountain bike. So I just had to wait another year and a half or whatever it was to be old enough to do my lessons and then pass my motorcycle driving license car test. So the clutch is a bit. My clutch is a bit snaggy. Might need to lube that a little bit. I've actually decided that on my Indian Scout bobber, I'm gonna do the service myself on that. It's just an oil change. So I bought the official Indian oil service kit. So I will do a video on that. Just because I'm just not using it enough to warrant, well, also finding the time to ride it out, get it serviced. And the last time I had it serviced, I wasn't happy because I think I said in the video maybe that it was missing a load of oil. I had to buy another bottle of oil to top it up, and it pretty much used the whole bottle. I basically had to obviously change the oil. I assume that they let it tick over, but then hadn't checked. And again, like I said, I was too distracted or whatever, and it is a pain in the arse checking the oil level on the Scout bobber because it's got this stupid crappy black dipstick, and you have to, you know, tie it, do it all the way up and then do it. Oh, Pulsar 2, nice. Yeah. Got a bit of a runny nose in this winter weather. Look at that, 43.1 miles per gallon. I don't really pootling about, but that's not bad for a litre bike, is it? There we go, see? Some weird shenanigans going on with the gear change there. Odd. So yeah, I need to get them to look at that. So I will take the Honda in for a official service. Oh, I thought it was natural speed limit there. Good job I slowed down a bit. Yeah, we'll take this in to the service at the Honda garage, just so I can get to check the quick shifter. It's good. But I hope I will start using the bikes again a bit more when the weather's good. That Mustang there. Yeah, to go when I go flying and stuff. Right up my arse, look. Another fellow motorcyclists of the UK or maybe the world. What is it? Is it a nod or a head tilt? I'm never quite sure if I'm supposed to be nodding my head or tilting my head with my motorcyclists. Yeah, the suspension is definitely better. I think it is set up obviously firmer now, so I do feel the bumps a bit more, but it's not bad. I think it's better to be firm because I can feel the bike. It's rebounding back into the position I want it to be in for the next manoeuvre much faster, which obviously is better. But the bike's pretty comfortable. I'm not sure how long I've been out now, but no real butt ache or anything, so that's always a good sign. So as we come down here, this is the road I was talking to you about that joins Malvern and Worcester. And there's basically only two ways to get in, well, two ways to get over. You've got the old bridge in Worcester, which is, you know, just single file traffic, and it's quite a short bridge, but it's right in the middle of town. And then you got this, which I don't know how long it's been there. I've always known it as the new bridge. I guess because at some point it was a new bridge, but I'm pretty sure it was there even when I moved to Worcester. But regardless, yeah, I think they were doubling the width of it, so we will go over that in a moment. I could switch back early and go back up to Upton upon 7, but I won't. I'll go straight along and across to Worcester, and then head back that way. But and as sad as it sounds, I'm really hoping that my exhaust downpipes aren't really dirty, because I spend a lot of time polishing those. Of course, this is a garage queen. Oh yes, my hands are toasty, but like I said, the old thumbs are a little on the chillier side. Don't know if anyone's got any good tips for that. Cool, you must be cold if you. Yeah, you probably got your heated seats on, haven't you, and your blowers on full. Well, after all roadworks, it would appear they've not finished yet, because still really cones everywhere, and traffic works. I should blame COVID for that as well, but it's nice too, isn't it? Always a bit odd, the new shape, wasn't it? Oh well, so look, they have widened it over here, but not finished, obviously. So I'm not sure what was or wasn't the old. So I guess, yeah, that will be 2 lanes, won't it? They can tarmac the middle bit there. They put a path in, and it will be a dual, yeah, I guess a dual carriageway bridge. and they'd already done the bits on the other side which kind of flows up through this side of Worcester. This might be a bit new road because I remember that was always accessible, but this bit all floods really quite badly. There's a house down there, but I always wondered how they managed to survive there, because it used to get very well flooded. But the River Severn runs across here. We can see that bridge up there, which is where the River Severn is, and yeah, it was flooded quite badly across all these fields, and it just looked like the sea, really. So yeah, I think it must be at least a year they've been working on this. And again, I'm no industrial road worker person. I appreciate it takes a lot of effort to build a bridge, but it does feel like it's been going on forever. But like I said, they're probably blame COVID or whatever. And up here on the right hand side, you can see that little that little brick area. That's a lookout area. It's called the Viewpoint because back in the Civil War, apparently all sorts of stuff happened up here. And I remember as a kid we used to go and sit up there, watching what was going on and whatnot. So I'm hoping that they're obviously going to restore that, because they wouldn't have put that little bit there. But used to have this big kind of plastic plaque thing that would tell you all about the Civil War and where different troops were and everything. Quite interesting. So we'll stay in the left-hand side lane here. Yeah, this bit of road we're going on to now, obviously they did that earlier because the traffic would get quite snarled up after work. Quite funky bridges going across over here. I used to live around here, but then I decided to move when I found out they're doing all this building work, and also hopefully where I moved to had slightly better schools for the kids as well. Don't know if that's still the case or not, but certainly what's okay. Why aren't you signalling when you're pulling out, dude? Have one of these funky little bridges. It's a funky old bit of Westphalia or something camper. I can't remember. I think not one of the Volkswagen's best designed looking campers, really. Anyway, I think the brakes are so good, very confidence inspiring. Well, the brakes on the Indian Scout Bobber don't even compare. This guy in front's got absolutely no lane discipline, because he was in the inside lane and then he decided to cross over into the outside lane, and then what's he doing? But yeah, love this bike, happy with this jacket, and hopefully we will be happy with the changes to the audio setup here as well. See if we can get ourselves back over. But yeah, let me know in the comments, especially if you made it this far, any thoughts, any questions about the jacket, bike setup, or what have you. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Thank you as always for watching. Consider liking, subscribing, pressing the bell notification icon. But until the next one, that is everything. Take care of yourself, and goodbye for now.